What if the game isn't about just skill, overpower attributes, but about breaking your opponent's mind? Most sports anime are predicated on one of three things, sometimes a combination of all three. Friendship, extraordinary abilities like the Zone and Kuroko no Basket, or a potential love interest as the central motivation to becoming good at the sport, like Suzuka. Needless to say, One House is the antithesis of all of these anime. One Ounce is an anime that is and isn't about baseball. It's an anime focused on human psychology, gambling, and the game within the game. If you're liking the video so far, be a pop. Hit the like button. Stay tuned to hear exactly what three things make this anime unique, thrilling, and an absolute must watch. One Ounce follows Toya Takuchi, a gambler turned pitcher who makes his way into professional baseball. But Toya doesn't play by the rules. He uses his uncanny ability to read people and exploit their weaknesses to win. You're probably wondering, how does someone like that even make it into a professional team? The answer lies in a game of luck, deception, and very high stakes. In the word, bets. Specifically, two bets. It all starts when some friends of a famous baseball player find themselves in the rough part of town. There, they stumble upon a game promoter, and they learn about a game where pitchers and batters wager on strikeouts. A game called One Outs. They figure it's easy win. They just bet on the batter, win some money, have some fun. Until they cross paths with Toya, who strips them of $40,000 without breaking a sweat. Furious and humiliated, the baseball star himself steps up to take Toya on, Kuchima, hoping to redeem his friends. But he too falls to Toya's manipulation, losing a staggering $400,000. Devastating, right? So the player, feeling mortified, retreats to the mountains. But the story doesn't end there. He returns challenging Toya one last time in a high-stakes match with a fairly ruthless wager. If he loses, he'll retire from the game of baseball. If Toya loses, he'll give up his pitching arm. And the shocking twist, our reigning champ actually loses. But instead of taking his arm, like Kujima said he would, the baseball star does something interesting. It's something in Toya that he cannot ignore, the potential for victory on a grander stage. And so Toya is brought into professional baseball. But interestingly enough, as soon as he gets into the team building, he meets the team owner. And they sit down and he negotiates something very interesting for himself. Prior, the team owner wanted to give Toya a standard salary and was very unimpressed at his resume of 500 matches and 1 outs, 499 wins and 1 loss. And so Toya negotiates his own rules, a 1 ounce contract, which stipulates for every out he earns, he pockets 5 million yen, 5 million big ones, right? But for every run he gives up, he's on the hook for 50 mil. If you're liking the video so far, please like the video, drop a comment, tell me about your thoughts, and consider subscribing so that I can give you more content like this. Now, the three things that make One Outs unforgettable. 1, the anti-hero lead that is Toya Takuchi. Toya is unlike any protagonist we've seen before. He's cold, he's calculating, he's fiercely manipulative. He's not here to boast or boost team morale or inspire unity. Toya treats his team like pawns, giving them false instruction, luring his opponents into traps to secure a win. One time when they were going up against an underhanded team, they were intentionally trying to injure Toya. So the guy was throwing the baseball and he kept hitting Toya. Toya This man throws the baseball bat at him and says his hand slipped. If that doesn't let you know what type of person he is. Yet for all his ruthless tactics, Toya also has a surprising ability to inspire. He challenges his teammates to step up, pushing them to find pride they long forgotten. At first, the team was a mediocre lineup with one star player, Kachima. But under Toya's influence, they transformed. Thanks to both the strange bond he formed with Kajima after that high stakes loss, and a sense of pride he instills, almost as if he's reawakening their dignity as players. One example of this: the team owner places a mole on the field, a player deliberately missing catches to sabotage Toya's stats. You think Toya would try to take him down directly. Instead, he empowers the player, giving him the freedom to rediscover his passion for the game. Don't get me wrong, he does get him benched for a time, but he's able to convince him and persuade him that he cared about winning. More importantly, he cared about his pride as a baseball player. It's a rare glimpse into Toya's character. A pride, not just in his skills, but lifting others to feel that pride as well. If complex, morally gray characters are your thing, let me know your favorite anti-hero in the comments. One thing that I also want to highlight about Toya that's very interesting about him is it's almost like he doesn't like being associated with losers. And I think that the example that I just gave kind of highlights that. There's other examples within the show where he will let certain players in on his plan, but not others. But also be times where he will instigate his teammates, basically telling them they suck in a matter of words, just so that he can get them to play harder with a sense of indignation and a sense of drive and rebellion against what's expected of them. The second thing that makes One Out's unforgettable and a unique anime, especially for sports anime, is the unrelenting psychological warfare. With the One Out's contract, every pitch becomes a mental game. Toya's battles aren't limited to the diamond. They're against everyone around him, from the opponents to the team owner who desperately wants him to fail. Unlike typical sports anime, where the strongest or the most motivated player wins, One House is about Toya's mind overpowering his opponent's nerves, breaking them down psychologically. Each inning feels like a cliffhanger. Toya's strategies keep you on the edge, constantly wondering just how he'll manage to outsmart everyone else and stay ahead. The tension is real. Every move is calculated to the last detail, turning each episode into a high-stakes mental showdown. If Toya's mind games have you hooked, smash the like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more psychological content. The third thing that makes One Out unique and truly unforgettable is it's not really a sports anime. It's a sports anime in name only. One Outs might take place on a baseball field, but make no mistake, this isn't a sports anime. Like, it has no typical hallmarks or fundamentals of a sports anime. Forget about camaraderie, dreams of a championship, or heartfelt speech. For Toya, baseball is just an arena, a place to gamble, manipulate, and push the boundaries of what's possible. It's not about team spirit or loving the game. It's about Toya's addiction to risk, his ability to bend the rules, and his relentlessness of his pursuit of psychological dominance. From the team's greedy owner to every opponent on the field, Toya sees all as pieces in a game far bigger than baseball. The anime breaks the usual sports mold and becomes something deeper, a look into human nature, strategy, and survival. If you're looking for an anime that challenges sports tropes One Ounce will be a breath of fresh air. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Blue Lock, I love Slam Dunk, I love Hajime no Ippo, and I love the stories that these anime tell. But this is so much more than just a spectacle anime. It's an anime that gets you to think about games and like beyond just like the sport itself, the psychological games and the games that people play, and also how you could potentially use some of these tactics to, you know, win some games. Whether we're talking about baseball, chess, soccer, whatever the sport is, whatever the game is. Because this game really does play on game theory a lot. Thanks for sticking with me till the end. If One Out's got you thinking, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell so you never miss another anime philosophical breakdown. What do you love most about One Outs? Any lessons or moments that stuck with you? Drop your thoughts below and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay philosophical.